Old friend, patron of the great clan Battleborn. You're here, and not a moment too soon. If anything should happen to Arn, there'll be hell to pay. A close friend of mine. We fought together on the battlefield for many years until old age got the better of us. Now it's up to me to save him one more time. This time from the executioner's block in Solitude. The city guard in Solitude is seeking Arn for a serious crime. When he fled here, he was arrested for drunken behavior. Can you imagine? Fortunately, his identity isn't known to the authorities in Whiterun, so there's still a chance to save him. Hold a moment. This is more than a simple prison break. I want to have Arn's name stricken from the record books permanently. I'm setting him up with a new identity. It's the only way to throw the guard permanently off his trail. The job is twofold. First, steal a letter that was sent from Solitude warning Whiterun's guard to be on the lookout for Arn. The second is to change Arn's name in the prison registry to his new identity. If it was easy, I would have hired a local thug instead of a professional. You see, both of these items are kept inside Dragon's Reach. And they don't allow visitors inside the Jarl's or the Steward's chambers. One more thing. If you get caught, I can't afford to be connected to you. Remember that before you do anything stupid. I have eyes within Dragon's Reach. They tell me that all correspondence from other holds are sent to the Jarl's private chambers. You watch yourself out there.
And what does the Empire do? Nothing! Nay, worse than nothing!
I'm right behind you. You go on ahead.
Hey, I know who you are. Hey, Citis. I'd be a lot warmer and a lot happier with a belly full of mead.
I bet you could slay one of those mean old dragons.
We heading
I
out?
bet you could do
Let's get
anything.
going.
Rise up! Rise up, children of the Empire! Rise!
Is your armor made of dragon skins? By the gods.
Ulfred, patron of the great Arn? Never heard of him. I guess that means you're finished. Here's your payment. Tell Delvin that he has my support and all the weight it carries in Whiterun from now on. I think he'll be quite pleased. You watch yourself out there.
Need something?
Pull up a seat. Have a drink. This kind of work suits you, and it's going to end up making you rich. Alfred sent ahead his compliments. Looks like his friend Arn is soon to be released, thanks to his brand new identity. More importantly, he's pledged the full support of the Battleborn clan to the Thieves Guild. I think you'll find that the guild is beginning to grow. We've had a merchant move into the space right outside the flagon. It's nice to shake off the cobwebs and get things rolling again. Keep this up, and I can see a bounty headed our way. I handle the fishing. If breaking's a more your thing, go talk to Vex. There are all sorts of people. So, you keep this up, and you'll be rich enough to retire before you know it. Good luck.
Welcome to the trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing. All right, then.
Skilled? Take a look. Take a look. Until next time.
Huh?
Even if you're one of us, you better not make trouble.
Steal anything worth talking about? Fine. I guess you'll need your coin then. Got plenty. Take your pick. Every now and again, if that means breaking. Feel like doing a bit of shopping? The guild way? Good. Just remember the order. Do job first, get drunk second. Now take this and go.
Let me guess. Someone stole your sweet roll. The Emperor's cousin, Vittoria Vici, is getting married soon. The reception will be public. Anyone in Solitude can attend. Hey, you mix potions, right? Can you brew me an ale?
used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
I'm not interested, Jari. It doesn't matter how many times you ask. New in town, right? And if you need a place to sleep, head over to the Winking Skeever. Keep a fine inn. You know, the Winking Skeever's not just the best. Jarl Elisif the Fair. Poor woman. Losing her husband and king like that. It was a dark day for us all. Damn. That reminds me. I have a delivery to make to her steward, Falk Firebeard. He ordered a special bottle of Strass Mackay rum. Saved me a lot of trouble. Here, take it to the Blue Palace. I showed up to watch, yeah. I don't know if they were right to execute him for what he did, but I'll tell you something. It couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Listen, Rogvir and I grew up together. It was us, a few others, and Vivian. Vivian Onus. I have no idea why, but one day I told Rogvir I liked her. It was a stupid thing to do. He mocked me incessantly after that. From that point forward, every time Vivian and I were anywhere close to each other, he made sure to humiliate me. Beat me up, dump meat on my head, anything he could get away with. Once he even slipped a beehive into my bed. We were children, sure, but Rogvir never outgrew that immaturity or his cruelty. So any talk about him being an honorable Nord? Pure folly. Work in it, I own it. Well, okay. My father owns the Winking Skeever, but it's the family business, so it'll be mine when he kicks off. I was done talking anyway.
You're passing through Solitude? Maybe you're looking to make some easy gold, yes? It's easy to find things to sell. Things nobody will miss. Things from underground, or just left lying around at someone's house. I bet the two of us were very alike. So why not take the next step? We can help each other. My sister Dija and I are treasure hunters. We like to collect things. I knew you looked like a clever one. With the war, many more ships come through these docks, loaded with weapons and pay, but few people, and they pass through dangerous waters. We have an interest in one of those boats, the Ice Runner. The Solitude Lighthouse will be guiding it in, but if its fire were to go out, the Ice Runner would run aground. What an interesting idea. I think if someone were to do something like that, there would definitely be a certain amount of loot to be shared. Yes, if someone were to put out the lighthouse fire and then meet me on the docks afterwards, I could certainly direct them to that loot. Don't worry about them. We'll make sure they wash up safe. Maybe they'll even pay us for their heroic rescue from their sad crash. It would be best if we spoke little until you've completed your task.
They say Ulfric Stormcloak murdered the High King with his voice, shouted him apart.
Can you spare a septum? Lost an eye during the Great War, or I'd earn it myself. What? You see a man fallen on hard times, and you think he's been like that forever? I was there. I fought in the Great War. I was on the field at Anvil. And when I was struck down, they left me. You understand? They left me for dead. I didn't leave them.
It's best you leave me be. What are you doing that for?
What delight. Another charming customer. Oh, let me just drop everything to I can help with purchases, but if you've come to talk, see my sister. She's the one who gets on with people. It's her one virtue, really. Clothes and raiment for the discerning customer. Speak quickly. It is when my customers waste time chatting and not buying. Radiant Raiment has the finest attire in all of Skyrim. That is how we get business. Thank the gods for the end of yet another pointless conversation.
Spare some gold for a veteran?
How do you feel? I think you might be sick. Hands off. Biren said you got here just before the execution. Must have been a lovely first sight. Baron's my husband. He works the forge up at Castle Dower. I barely see him nowadays, what with him filling orders for the army. No, that was an ugly affair. High King Torig's death has turned the whole town on its head. Between you and me, he wasn't even that good a king. All of those rambling speeches about the Empire this and the Empire that. Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that. Come back to bits and pieces anytime. You know, you've got a certain fire in your eyes. Just like my errand. Please, feel free to look around. We've got a bit of everything.
Papa says I won't see. Hey, wanna play tag?
Got to keep my eyes open.
I don't want to talk.
Damn dragons could swoop down at any time.
For a stranger, you're not so bad.
If you ever want to replace those old rags, stop by Radiant Raiment.
Hello, I'm Gisli. But you can just call me Erica's sister. Everyone does.
It's not an insult, just an observation. If I were walking around with a wound, I would want you to tell me to see a doctor. Your outfit is something of an open wound, where attire is concerned. Nothing at all. It's very nice. If you want something with a little more style, however, you should come by our shop, Radiant Raiment. We could fix you right up.
You can afford a septim or two.
You're really going to the Blue Palace? That presents an opportunity. If you are willing to wear one of Radiant Raiment's outfits and speak to the Jarl, I would not only pay you, but let you keep the outfit. Good. Here's the outfit. Try to get Elisif's opinion on it, and if she likes it, mention it's from Radiant Raiment. Remember Radiant Raiment when you need a change of attire.
I don't have anything to say. Dragon? Really? Was it big? Did it breathe fire? Oh wow, I knew it! I knew they were real! I have to remember to tell Papa. I don't want to talk. I shouldn't be. Mama says if I do, people are gonna ask about Uncle Rogvir. Maybe if I don't talk, they won't either. Thanks. Papa talks about it some. Mom doesn't say much since Uncle Rogvir died. She doesn't even go to temple anymore. I wish she would. At least that way she'd have people to talk to. You would do that? That's great. You should go do it right now. Pardon me.
It's not much to ask.
For a stranger, you're not so bad. Hey, wanna play tag? Come back if you don't play tag.
Hey, wanna play tag?
Mother says
whatever
you
you
shouldn't
say.
talk to people.
Bye.
Let me know if you see anything you like.
If you're looking for potions, you should talk to my aunt, Angeline Morard.
Are you feeling all right, dear? You look a little ill. traveler, correct? Have you been to Whiterun? Wonderful. I hadn't really hoped to run into someone who'd been there. My daughter Fura was assigned to Whiterun after she joined the Imperial Army. I was hoping you might have met her. I haven't heard from her lately. I've tried talking to Captain Aldis, but he hasn't been any help. Oh, that's very sweet of you. Anything you can find out from Captain Aldis would be welcome news. We mostly carry herbs and alchemical ingredients, that sort of thing. Before the war, our stock was mostly used for aromatic use in homes. Yes. These days, we have more people like you coming in, looking for healing and the like. No. Mostly, I'm just a simple herbalist. Lami over in Mothall should be able to help you. Take a look. Don't forget me next time you need herbs and potions.
I'm a little busy at the moment. I've got all sorts of errands to run. You were there for Rogvir's execution. You look like an adventurous one. I bet we're kindred spirits, you and I.
Take my advice. Never gamble. Damn Irnskar has me in debt up to the eyes. Too many drinking games, too many bets, and I'm too old to ever raise the coin on my own. He's a stubborn oaf. I don't know what good it'll do. You should speak to my daughter, Yvette. She's the brains of the family.
If you're heading to the Blue Palace, you might want to rethink that outfit.
As High Priest of the Eight Divines, I bid you welcome. I'm afraid I'm running errands at the moment, but please visit me
Dean
later
Inga
at the
says a
Temple of
bard
the
can never
Divines.
have enough practice. So, would you like a tune? Don't take this the wrong way, but you look a little sickly.
You look like you could do with a ripe apple, or a tomato, cabbage, or leek.
Fresh fish, straight from the
I have my ways, but it's not easy these days. The Black Blood Marauders have been plundering ships off the coast. A lot of people been hurt by their foolishness. That I do. I had a messenger from Dragon Bridge stop here on his way to the Blue Palace not too long ago.
fresh fish.
He was
Fresh
very
fish.
nervous. Mentioned something about needing help. Come back when you figure out how to spend money.
Plenty of fresh fish for you.
Spiced wine, the taste of
Sorry,
home
yes.
and heart.
It's been hard on her. The girl misses her uncle. I've tried to explain that Rogvir did something bad, and that we all have to be accountable for our actions. But the child feels what she will. Down at the docks. There are a few good spots if you can avoid the East Empire company workers and those red wave thugs.
Keep the cold at bay with our spiced wine.
These are troubled times. Be on your guard out there.
Need something?
You wouldn't have a few minutes to run down to the docks, would you?
Fresh fish, straight from the fjords.
They're adequate. Honestly, I rely on the business brought in by the burning of King Olaf, and that's not likely to happen this year. Well, it's a great big festival put on by the bards every year. They burn an effigy of old King Olaf. It's quite a bit of fun. The bards give out spiced wine during the festival, so they put it in a big order. And then, for weeks after, demand is so high, I can barely keep up. But with the death of High King Torrig, the festival has been declared in poor taste. So it looks like it won't happen this year. They're adequate. Honestly, I rely on the business brought in by the... it's a great... The bards give out spice... But with the death of High King Torrig, the festival has been Well, I've got a shipment of spices the East Empire Company is holding up. I need someone to convince them to release it.
Straight from the fjord.
Great. Get back to me when you're done and I'll give you something for your time.
Get your fresh fruit and produce.
Oh, yes. A secret family recipe. The only good thing my father Octieve ever did. In fact, it's so good, no one else in Skyrim even tries to make any. Good luck out there. It seems like a tough time to be wandering Skyrim.
The finest fish here, caught daily.
Fruit, fresh off the boat. The freshest in Skyrim.
Fish here, caught daily.
You all right? You look like you might be sick. You mean Rogvir? Yes, I made an appeal to Captain Aldis. He allowed Rogvir to have a proper Nord burial, as is the custom in Solitude. All my life, I practically grew up in the hall. My father and mother were the priest and priestess of Arcade before me, you see. I believe I was put here to protect this place from the darkness that pervades Solitude. This city has a long history of madness and murder. The Wolf Queen, Pelagius, the death of High King Torrig, and now public executions. My books tell the stories, I've no doubt. As pretty as its streets are, as jovial as the bards may be, darkness is drawn to Solitude. May Arcade bless you with a long life.
found the bone. I brought it to you, but still Tendrils of thought may wind their way through this realm, but those tendrils bind our reality. Wait, hear my plea. My master, he is lost between worlds, and I cannot bring him back. My master has abandoned me, abandoned his people, and nothing I say can change his mind. Now he refuses to even see me. He says I interrupt his vacation. It's been so many years. Won't you please help? Last I saw him, he was visiting a friend in the Blue Palace. But no one as mundane as a Jarl. No, no, such people are below him. No, he went into the forbidden wing of the palace to speak with an old friend. Said it had been ages since they had last had tea. Oh, and you'll need the hip bone. It's very important. No entering Pelagius's wing without that. Oh, you just don't understand. Without him, I am not free. Without him, I am doomed. All of his empire shall fall into chaos.
When I was a young rascal, I broke a man's arm with a single punch. Of course, I had a horseshoe hidden in my glove. Debts are debts. Either he pays them, or his kind do. Fine. You sound like a priest of Mara, but I get your point. Tell him to forget about the gold. Keep your sword, Armstrong. Hmm?
Good evening. I'm Pantia Atia, the master vocalist.
Thanks again for helping reopen the East Empire Company. And have them import me some of that aged Breton cheese. Is your armor made of dragon skins? By the gods, what wouldn't I do for a set of that? used to be an adventurer like you. Took an arrow in the knee.
You don't look so good. Are you feeling all right? Are you here to talk about my brother? Do you think his execution was justified? Rogvir. He opened a gate and they executed him for it. He opened a gate and the wrong man rode out of it. If that man hadn't been Ulfric's Stormcloak. If Ulfric hadn't killed High King Torrig. But it was Ulfric. And he did kill the High King in honorable combat. My brother refused to allow the Imperials to take revenge for the deed. So now he's dead. Then like Rogvir, you have a Nord's heart. It's hard for many of the people here to understand. I think Aldis understands. I don't think I could have stayed here if anyone else had... I think I need to be done talking for the moment. I'm not looking for conversation. She did she? She's gonna get a sit-down later. Well, I wish it were that simple. Maybe it is. Look, I want to go back, but I won't feel right in there without a tie to Talos. My brother Rogvir wore a symbol of Talos. He kept it hidden on his person. If I had that, I can't go near his body. Would you get it back for me? Thanks. I should make sure Sfari's okay.
Not my finest hour. Rogvir was a fine and honorable man. No, I think he was entirely wrong. Rogvir's execution was justified and necessary. Being honorable might make you a good man, but it doesn't make you right. Be a better world if it did. Their aim could be steadier, but they're battle-ready. Can any man hope to be ready for a dragon? I can but hone their skills and harden their hearts. The rest is up to the gods. Generally, posting information is need to know only. I've been trying to find the time and place to let her know. Her daughter was sent to Whiterun. The skirmishes there have been violent. The Whiterun legate, he needed to know the Stormcloak positions. He sent out a party to scout the area. They happened upon a large force. I'm told none of them made it back. Private Morard, Angela's daughter, was in that scouting party. She needs to be told.
You look a bit peaked. True, I may look the part of dashing swordsman, but I prefer the art of wit to that of warfare.
Seems there's no end to the needs of the Imperials. But what can I help you with? It's almost all I have time for these days. The men training here in Solitude, and the troops out in the field, they all need weapons and armor. You should look into joining. They could use every hand they can get. To be honest, no. But High King Torrig supported them. And now, her lady Elisif has thrown in with them. You could say I'm a king's man at heart. I guess that's Jarl's man now. My loyalty lies with Solitude. So, where Jarl Elisif leads, I follow. I think I would, if it weren't for my son and my wife. Oh, Seema would have my hide if I even suggested I might step foot on a battlefield. You think Stormcloaks and Legionnaires are dangerous? Ha! Return anytime you need arms or armor. Right?
Just think I'll forge me a new sword, just in case things go awry here in Solitude. I'm the blacksmith's apprentice. Food, experience, and a roof over my head in the finest city in Skyrim. If money's all you hold dear, then you end up like Jari Ra, plague on the city. Captain Aldis can't prove it, but that Argonian is up to no good. I like you. No man is a match for a dragon. Buying one of our blades wouldn't hurt your chances, though. May your sword feast on Stormcloak flesh.
Being old's not so bad. Daughter keeps me fed, and You've done a fine thing for me. You know, I used to be quite a warrior in my day. Let me show you a thing or two. You should speak to my daughter, Yvette. She's the brains of the family.
Don't take this the wrong way, but you look a
Divines
little
bless
sickly.
you. May the... I'm too old to work, but that don't make me too old to drink.
It's good to see a fresh face. You got Aldis to tell you something. I knew you would. What did he say? I told her. I told her the Imperial army would kill her. That this was a war of Jarls and Imperial generals, and we had no part in it. She just wouldn't hear it. It was brave of you to come to me with this. I can't thank you for it, not for this. But you have done me a service.
I hope your parents are proud of you. They have a lot of reason to be. Need something for a potion? You're certainly in the right place.
Sorry, I was lost in thought. I'm planning my wedding, you see. So many details to work out.
You look a bit peaked. You sure you shouldn't be... Why, of course. And will you also be needing the bow that shoots rainbows? Or perhaps a quiver that dispenses beer? Look, if you want arrows, we have them. But don't insult my intelligence. An archer, eh? I've got just what you need. Perhaps I'll be seeing more of you. True, I may look the part of dashing swordsman, but I prefer the art of wit to that of warfare.
Seems there's no... Looking to protect yourself or deal some damage? Return anytime you need arms or armor. My forge